thank you so much for joining us. So these are our original cast, part of our original cast in Nashville. We have Leellen Starks, Rose, Rose Rodriguez,
Hello.
and Danielle Threet. Yes. So you all have been with the Tumbully project since, I believe it was August of 2018. When we had auditions and everything, and then we got the cast together. So, yeah. What?
I'll jump in, Tara.
Yes, thank you.
Since you're
My mind just went.
She can edit. She can edit this.
Out.
I think when we decided to hold auditions for Tumbly, we weren't sure who was going to show up, who would be interested. And it was, it was just kind of you just kind of throw something out there and you just hope that there are people that kind of share your passion and your vibe for, wanting to make a change in a very difficult, it almost seems, we're talking about bullying right now. And we just finished writing another book. I don't know if you all saw it, and we did this really cool Get Down With It dance about the COVID pandemic for kids. So it's, that's kind of first and foremost in my mind. And so we did write a book about it. That's like our most recent. And then we tried to do a dance, Get Down With It, for, lifting spirits at home, but, trying to get that pushed and get it out there, I think for me, and Tara, when we were talking about doing this, we'd love to hear what your responses are in terms of, when you read the casting call and what it was about, what your feelings were and how you felt about it. What compelled you to come to the audition? Leellen?
Okay.
It's like, don't everyone jump in at once?
Yeah, I know. Who's going first? Yeah, I remember reading about it because my degree is actually in music therapy, and so I worked with kids a lot, doing work in music therapy, and it was always a focus on being uplifting and bringing music into the equation. We did a lot working with kids that we were doing therapeutic objectives, but we always applied music to it. So that resonated with me, with the description about this musical, that we are going after a therapeutic, a psychological, something that kids with the power of music and with the power of friendship and community, and all of the stories and the songs had that element of you're not alone. You have these friends with you, and so that was definitely a draw for me.
All right. I think that's such an interesting perspective. I think for me, I got my degree in psychology. I couldn't go, I wanted to do music, but I couldn't pass theory. There, I said it. I couldn't pass theory. All right? Not good in math. So there. So I had to learn to play by ear and all this other stuff. But for me, I just felt like, as you, music, have a psychology background, even in what I do now as a vocal coach, and just everything I do, I just find that background gives me a tremendous platform without people even realizing it, to be able to be non-confrontive and supportive and loving and encouraging, and not anything that would be threatening. And when we were writing the books and we were writing the music for all of this, that's what we wanted it to encompass. We wanted it to be, in fact, when I first started the series, it was about, the first book that I wrote was about, the bully. And then midway through it, I'm thinking, you know what? that's a person too. That's somebody that needs to be saved. So that's why Timmy Tumbully became, the crusader in all of this, because I wanted to rescue the bully as well, not just the victim, but the bully. And as you all know, they went on this tremendous journey, and they're continuing on that journey. So Rose, what about you?
Thank you for sharing it. That's so beautiful. I think for me, I've also resonated with when I first saw the description. I think it was on a Facebook post. I think that's where I first saw it. And I just moved to Nashville, I think, and I was trying to do more things in music, but also I do have a degree in teaching as well. So I've always worked with children and different aspects in like schools and in church as well. So I remember like I always enjoyed working with kids, like because they're, they don't have any shame about like dancing and,
Right.
and like they just tell you anything they feel. If they feel like hugging
No
you, they'll hug you.
boundaries.
Yes, yes, and working in schools, I remember like leading worship with them and then just jumping, not scared of anything. And so when I saw that it was involving or backgrounds in like working with children, but also in a good message, I think that really called my attention. And I think I also always dreamed of like being part of a musical theater production because I did that in church as well too, like acting, but not in another setting or in a new country even, like because when I moved to the US, I pretty much started over and everything. And
Wow. Yeah.
so he's not knowing anyone, right? And just taking my career to level 0 again. And so,
But
yeah,
you know
so
what I remember about the first time that we all met? I think what touched my heart more than anything was it's almost like it was an immediate family.
Yeah.
There was such an incredible, there was this big loving magnet that was just drawing everybody in together. And Tara and I were like so excited when everybody left. We were like, oh my gosh, what a blessing from God, because that's exactly what we had hoped for, had prayed for. And, our little miracles just walked in one by one.
Oh,
And you all are just like, we're so sweet together,
Yeah.
You just like
Yeah.
immediately got, like you it was just this little.
It's like you all have known each other forever. Yeah.
Yeah. And then musically, I mean, you all just sound angelic, and the harmonies and just everything just blended together so beautifully from the start. But
yeah, it was like,
thank you.
Okay, does anybody know harmonies? And it was like, yeah. And it was like, okay, well, I just sat back, and it was like, y'all don't need me, just go for it. And it was just, that's like a rare situation, because most of the time you don't have that. And a lot of the times, you're spending hours and hours and hours trying, for everybody to try to get their note for harmonies. And you all, oh, you want to take the third? All right, I'll take the fifth. And you take the, and it's like, all right. Well, they obviously passed theory. So I'll just go sit down by Tara.
no,
Tara definitely didn't pass it nor take it. So
That's
would
what's
I have
so
passed
funny.
it?
I texted Tara about this not too long ago when she was talking about getting this meeting put together. And I had just gone through my phone recently, and I was looking at old vocal recordings that I had saved. I have a voice recording of us doing Hug of Love in rehearsal. And I was listening to it again.
Yeah.
It was like our first or second rehearsal when we were looking at all the tracks.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun to hear those.
Yeah.
So how did you feel when you arrived and you were caught up, and you just came from the hospital?
Yeah, I came from work. I was in my scrubs.
You were in your
I looked like a
scrubs.
vagabond that had just rolled out of bed.
And you know what? I felt so good that you were there, because I thought, oh, if anything happens, I have a medical person here. Like if somebody hits a note so high that it's like,
It breaks your eardrum. Little ooze starts coming out of the ear. You're like, okay, I got this. Let me fix it.
Yeah.
We've got our nurse.
No, I heard about the auditions kind of like Rosa. I found out about it on Facebook. I saw a casting notice, and it stuck out to me almost immediately because I was bullied a lot in junior high into high school. I had a very bad incident happen with people that I knew that ended up not being real friends, and it got so bad to the point where I had to leave school for the rest of 7th grade, and I was homeschooled the rest of that year.
Mm.
So the bullying was very real and it was very bad. So, and what's hard was the one who did it was a former best friend.
Hmm.
So that's what hurt more than anything. And I ended up having a real best friend come out of it, who is now my best friend now, and she has a almost 9-year-old daughter that's my goddaughter, who's named after me. So
Wow.
it helped me realize who my real friends were, and it helped me learn a lot about myself. And and when I saw the casting notice for the show, I was like, oh, I know how these kids feel. I would love to be able to do something like this because it lets me express myself, what I've been through, and it helps me connect with kids who are going through the same thing.
Well, it was visceral for you because you actually went through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell you, when I go back and I look at, I just wish that there had been a way for all of you to have been in that musical. Because with 2 weeks that we had, it was amazing to see it come to life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh,
I
it
got
was
I got
really
to
beautiful.
see it. Yeah,
Oh, you
it
got
was
to
really
see it?
beautiful. Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't get to see it, did you?
Mm-mm.
Tara, can you send that to her so she can watch it?
Yeah.
I'd love to. Did you guys
Yeah.
had a little girl named was it Anna Laura Lyon?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna Laura is one of my best friend's little sisters, so I know her very well.
Oh,
Oh. Yeah,
that's
she
sweet.
was great.
Well, but yeah, it was really beautiful to see it come to life, right? Like all the stories together. It's really like transmitted everything. I think that all the beautiful messages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the You Belong camp, the anti-bullying camp that you all did come and perform at. I don't know how many of you know, but the Fort Lauderdale Mounted Police donated 2 of their horses to be therapy horses for the Tumbully Foundation.
Aww.
Wow.
So we've got 2 beautiful horses, Benny and Zeke, who, as soon as the pandemic is over, love to be braided and pet, and they're so sweet. They're just so sweet, and they're beautiful. So hopefully,
Wow.
we'll make it to Nashville and we'll be able to, get everything up and running again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's so beautiful. And I also want to say that You Belong was also a really special song. Me from immigrating to the US, right? And everything that's going on with immigration that's been really hard. And so hearing that You Belong, I think that that really makes you feel, because sometimes when you're not living in your country, you don't know where your home is, right? Or when you go back, does it feel like home? Like, or like, are they both home? Like, so
Exactly.
hearing that You Belong is so beautiful, like, and so heartwarming. Yeah, so thank you for writing that.
Well, and Rose had started to translate all of the books into Spanish and the songs,
Oh,
so that we can
Yeah.
have it in Spanish,
Amazing.
and hopefully, we'll be able to get it in French. I mean, just, baby steps, but we're going towards, I mean, Tara and I continue to work on all of this like every day. I read something that Jewel made a comment about. She said somebody asked her what her idea of success was. And she said, I don't remember my answer, but I remember the answer of the guy who asked me the question. And his answer was, my idea of success is doing something even when everybody tells you it'll never make it. He said, you're willing to lose everything for it. Whether you succeed or not, you're willing to lose everything for it because you believed so much in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
And I thought that was so powerful. I love that. And that's kind of how Tara and I have been. We're just, everything has been, it's in God's time, and he didn't bring us this far just to bring us this far, so we're just continuing, and hopefully we'll find an angel out there somewhere that'll be willing to help us get this, where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to add to that. I didn't know from reading the first blurb about the auditions that you would have such a focus on, like you said later, about helping the bullies not become bullies anymore. And that was really powerful to me because it's kind of like a supply and demand thing, as far as like, as long as there are kids that are having trouble with that behavioral side, they're going to. And so it was just such a powerful thing to have your storyline be a bully, figuring out why they're wanting to bully. And so that, especially because in music therapy, I was working more with the bullies a lot of times. The ones with behavioral issues. And so I just wanted to touch on that's really powerful.
I remember that as well. I remember when I was doing my internship, it could get really exhausting when you have a kid that's pulling other kids' hair or throwing stuff at them, and all the other 7 kids that were in the room get nothing except what this particular young person chooses to bestow on them. And you're trying to do your best to be loving and supportive and encouraging not to do that behavior, And unfortunately, it's every age, Tara, I think you did some research on it, kids start very, very young. With their bullying.
Which is, one reason you start, the demographic of the picture books, and in doing market research and everything, and just talking to parents and teachers, I've had parents say that their kids as young as 4 and 5 years old know what bullying is if they haven't already experienced it. They know what it is, and they hear about it. So it's not something that should be kept from a child until they're at a certain age. It's something happening in life that.
Tara, what's the name of the new book? I can never remember this.
The COVID book?
Yeah.
Oh, Safe Inside, Sneaky Tricky Dragon, You Won't Catch Me.
So we decided we made the bully a 2-headed big green dragon.
I love COVID.
So that the kids would have a visual. You should send all of them a copy so they can look at the book.
I will.
We did it in Spanish too, right? We did it in Spanish too.
Because, translated it.
Because the COVID-19 is a bully. And that's what we were trying to animate, or make it animated, so that kids could understand. And then Sharif read the book, and he read it in a way that like he was talking to all the kids out there. You'll have to send that to them, Tara. They'll get a kick out of that.
I will. Yeah, I will. The book, the story time reading, the interactive version is on YouTube. So I'll send you the links. Yeah.
It's sweet. So, well, it's so good to see you all, and put this musical together and launch it in Nashville.
Yeah.
Hope so.
We'll have Jimmy Mattingly up there directing all of the musicians.
He can use his fiddle.
His fiddle bow.
And then play, and then.
And exactly, and tap.
We'll have to tell him that. We'll have to tell him about that.
We were thinking like maybe the next time that we do one of these sessions, we'll have Jimmy come on with us and talk about the musical process and why he got involved, because we all know how busy he is. And so for him to take the time to come on board and literally donate his time. I mean, the music that he did for those songs was incredible. So it's pretty amazing. In your wildest dream, you can't even imagine that. And he's just such a good person. But I thought it would be fun to, to see what Jimmy, what he would say about all of this. And because I know at least 2 of you went and recorded
Yes,
at
it was a
his
wonderful
studio.
experience too. What a gentle spirit, kind man, humble man for all that he's done.
Humble
Yeah.
and kind. Yes.
Yeah.
Humble and kind. Humble and kind.
Yeah, it's really
Well,
encouraging.
yeah. Well, it's absolutely awesome to be with you in spirit like this. This is so amazing. I think about you all so often, and now I'll have something to watch. Well, you all have very happy holidays. We love you very
You
much.
too.
And
Love you guys too.
You too. Love you too.
and so we'll just stay connected, and we'll just it doesn't matter where we are in the world. We can always, through social media, we can make great things happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Bye. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Too much hatred.